If every single trade you take is well documented with details, you find out that your mind will start attuning to that pattern and details, and you find yourself executing the next trade with consciousness of what you did on the last trade because you recorded it. A lot of you have a plan. How will you have a plan and execute that plan without recording your progress? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you have a map to get into somewhere, and the moment you bring the map forward, you start working without seeing what distance you've covered, where you need to cover more, and all these informations along the journey. So I define journaling as the bridge between planning and execution. So between your planning and execution, the bridge is journaling. So the question at the end of the day, the question that your journal answers for you is, did I follow my plan with my execution? It's going to help you track your habits. I'm telling you, if you take a step this year to change your focus the other way, instead of looking at the market, I want you to start thinking of things that are outside of the market that helps you position yourself to executing a good job in the market. The goal is for you to know exactly what you want to do, why you're doing it, what you're looking for, get into the market, execute it, and get out. You see, what most of us do is this. Trading commands the same level of psychological demand like any athletic game. So if you're operating within that framework that needs that much mental muscle, what do athletes do? They take years practicing, developing a plan. And the execution, they run maximum 10 minutes, 15 minutes, all they've been practicing outside of the track, outside of the field. They exhibit it in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour. They may take 5 years to practice through. And this is how you should behave as a trader. The execution is enabled by what you do outside of the market. How do you prepare yourself? Does your journaling account for what you need to do? The areas of your weakness? Then can you fix that in your plan? Then come to the chart, execute, and get out. Most people focus on execution. It's like an athlete focusing on running that day, no plan, no practice. He just wants to run on that day. He's going to be disappointed, even if you're the most talented person in the world. It's about preparation and having data of your preparation. So journaling is what bridges the gap between planning and execution. It helps you assess how well you followed your plan and where adjustments are needed. So for you to build a daily habit, you need awareness. For you to change a habit, you need awareness of what the old habit was. And for you to be consistent with the new habit, you have to be able to have a data of how the new habit has influenced the positive change for you. So if you want to stop over risking, you need to be able to see through your journal how over risking has really affected you and blowed your account. Then the moment you start taking the right risk, you want to see how not over risking has helped you with your account. How many trades have you lost that could have blown your account? In the first month of people joining the war room, the first thing I did for them is letting them understand the place of risk management. I kept talking about that for weeks. And it's so amazing that a lot of people say, if I was trading a low, I would have blown this money. The fact that I've not blown this money shows that I've improved. That is where it starts. So you want to be able to track how the old habit has influenced your performance. Now, how the new habit is influencing your performance. Now, what happens is your mind picks up the positive one. So it becomes very easy for you to stay within that framework. And all you got to do is do this for a month, 2 months. It becomes a subconscious part of you. And that eventually puts your life on autopilot. Your goal is for you to exhibit the right attitude as a normal habit in the market every day. You show up, you do the right thing as your default habit. So how many of you guys would you say have a journal? How many of you guys have a journal, a trade journal, comprehensive trade journal? Let me know. Let me know. How many of you guys have a comprehensive trader journal? Now, I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be helping you with details that you need. You see, journal is not just about writing about your trade, when you entered, when you exit, and all of this. Journal is not about that. Journal means to track specific data that are needed in your trading so that you can use that to create a pattern, and that can improve your confidence. So let me give you an example. For me, I know the days that the market gives me the best opportunities. So if I get up on Monday wanting to see down the market, I know I'm wasting my time. Most of my best days are within Wednesdays and Fridays. So I tend to sit with the market and observe the market movement more between Wednesdays and Fridays. So how many of us have been able to get all these data and see the pattern through it in such a way that it now helps you with confidence to knowing? Journaling is more like a book that tracks pattern for you. It tells you the behavior of the market with respect to your strategy. And the moment you can start to see that pattern, you begin to develop a new level of confidence. So you know, on Monday, I shouldn't waste my time, because usually by pattern, the market does not give me good entry on Mondays. Oh, what is my execution strategy? When I use these execution strategies, right, I do not get the best trade opportunity. But when I use this other one, this one gives me more of A plus opportunity. Then it's time for you to cut that one out. So you want to be able to receive data that gives you opportunities. Some people, perhaps, I make more money when I'm buying an instrument than when I'm selling. Maybe it's time for you to focus on just buying. The goal is for you to pick those data that are working for you positively and leverage on them. This is what Forex trading is all about. So now I'm going to be talking to you about the details of journals as well, just like trading plan. What are the details you need in journaling? Okay? You only need 5 details. It comes in 5 different forms, right? Then under them, you have specific details. For example, you want to know the details of that trade, the day and time of that trade. You took that trade. What was the trend when you took that trade? Did you take a buy or a sell? What is the significance of these data? Once you know the date, you can be able to trace it back. When you know the time that you took that trade, it's very easy for you to say, okay, let me see a consistent pattern. It's like some of the best trade, I take them every Wednesday, all through the year. And you have to definitely journal enough for you to be able to get these data, right? So, on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, I get the best trades, right? So that means that I have to pay attention to Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Then you start to see conscious awareness. Then you start to see that. Then you start to take that opportunity. This is what journal will do for you. The market traded. Sorry, not market trend. The market traded under the trade details include what instrument gives me the most money. Some people find it so profitable when they trade gold. Some people find it so profitable when they trade GJ. As you all know, I trade only GJ. The reason why I started trading GJ is because it has given me the most profitability. I didn't start with GJ. I used to trade like 20 something trades before, then I narrowed it down to 9, then to 8 to 5. Then I used to trade two pairs as of 2 years ago, GJ and USD CHF, but I realized that GJ gives me massive profit. So what did I do? Let me focus on this. Let me be the master over this. That is the whole idea. Now, trade type, buy or sell. Do you make more money when you're buying? Do you make more money when you're selling? It allows you to position yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to focus more on buy trades. The next one is the analysis strategy. You want to be able to journal how well you behave with your analysis, right? What is the market condition? It was the market condition in the trending market. You want to be able to write this down. Oh, perhaps if you see that you make more money trading trending market, that is already a strategy to your advantage, right? What was the trade setup? Was it a break of trend line? Was it a rejection at previous area of support and resistance? You want to be able to write them down. By the time you start to see pattern, you see that every time you trade an area of support and resistance or an area of Fibonacci, or perhaps the market intersects both, every single time you notice that for the past 4 months you have not made a loss. That means that those are the A plus setup for you. You want to take that out and write it. These are my A plus setup. Perhaps when I finally find this opportunity, I want to be able to maximize those opportunities. Why do you enter the trade? Does it align with your strategy? Oh, if my strategy is A plus B, that's why I'm entering the trade. And I have another strategy which is B plus C. If the one that gives you more profitability is A plus B, then you need to stop B plus C and adopt A plus B. For me, I have over 9 things I look out for, 9 ways I enter a trade. And over the years, it's narrowed down to 2. And over the years, I've been able to see the most profitable one. So when that opportunity happens, I know I'm about to make a lot of money. And that is how it works. The next one is risk management. You want to write details in your journaling about your risk management. What are your risks per trade? You see, in your journal, your risk per trade, if it's 4 in the beginning of the year, must be 4% at the end of the year. The moment you're seeing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it tells you how much discipline you have as a trader. And the moment you find yourself, I showed you guys, an $100 to $11,000 challenge on my YouTube. If you've not seen it, you can go and watch it, right? And that account I'm still trading into now, it's insane. I want to reveal it when it gets to my major target, okay? And what is it about it, right? In the second week, I noticed that I was taking higher risk, and those times I lost every single trade I took. 8 trades I took 5 losses or 6 losses. So what does that mean? It means every time I change my risk, what happens mentally is that I lose touch, I lose confidence, right? So I find myself fidgeting to enter a trade or entering a trade at the wrong time. Simple. These things gives you data. Then what is your risk reward ratio? Oh, perhaps every time I trade in the direction of the trend and I execute with A plus B trade setup, right? And I follow my risk reward is always 1:5, 1:6. It tells you the kind of trade you should be looking for. Don't look for the 1:1.5. Wait for that opportunity. Go look at the trade that has your best risk reward ratio. Do they have a pattern in common? Oh, am I always trading in the direction of the trend? Am I always trading when the market rejects the support resistance level? Oh, is this kind of execution I wait for that gives me a very high risk reward? You want to adopt that. Your goal is to absorb all these data and focus on those data that are working and maximize yourself on it. What about emotional reflection? What are the emotions you felt during the trade? If every time you feel the emotion of greed and you record it down, the outcome of that trade is always a loss, it should tell you something, that the reason why you're making that loss is because of the greed. Now you can find a way to deal with the greed. Oh, maybe for me to put myself accountable, I'm going to have to reduce my risk to show myself that I'm not in a rush to make money, but I'm only enjoying the process, right? What are the impact of emotions on the decision? Oh, every time I'm greedy, I over risk. Every time I'm afraid, I miss a trade, right? You want to be able to write all of these down so you kind of know the outcome of all these emotions. Then the final part is the trade outcome. You want to know the result of the trade so that every of these data you have identified together, what is the outcome? Does it give me wins or losses? You want to look at the ones that are giving you wins. What patterns are consistent, together right there. So this is the component of a trade journal. And I think the most important thing when it's all said and done is having accountability. Okay? The most important thing right here is having accountability. Do you have an accountable partner? Listen, Forex is very boring. And I'm going to tell you this today, in case you don't know. Why is it that even some profitable traders, they like the idea of a community? They have a community they trade with, they share their trade with. They may not tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. They are doing it also for their own accountability. They are not only they are not, yes, for the most part, they are doing their community a favor. They are making things easier, but they are also learning from it as well. Because there's something so beautiful about having a community of traders, right? Whether you have a friend that you're trading together with, whether you have this your online buddy that you're trading together with, the fact that you guys are able to share trade ideas and keep each other accountable. Oh, I can be able to ask you, what was the journal on your last trade? If you didn't journal, that means it's showing that you are lacking on something, right? If you can't provide me the data of your last trade, that means that you are indisciplined. I will question your indiscipline, right? So this is how it works in Forex market. So long story short, for you to achieve a different result in 2025, you must come with a different approach. I could have made this webinar about technical trading and teaching you guys this and that. Every single week, I give you guys premium content on YouTube that you probably won't find anywhere else. Some people even do not sell something of that quality in their courses, actually. But if you find out that even with all of these things, you're still coasting around, I think the work is not to focus on the execution, it's to focus on those things outside of the chart that prepare you ready for execution. When it's all said and done, you see this market you're seeing is only a platform to bring money out. Where the money really is in your mind, is in your relationship to the market, is in how you look at the market, is in how you see the market, is how you interpret them. However, you cannot shape your mental environment if you do not have a plan. And without a plan, you cannot be able to track your data consistently. And if you can't track your data in the market, your confidence level will remain static in Forex trading. I tell you this, when you reach a certain level in trading, you don't trade by technical analysis again. You trade by the confidence you've gotten from your own pattern. So at a point in the market, what you trade in the market is not candlestick. You just come to the market and use the candlestick to execute your plan. You're trading your plan, not the chart. You are trading your plan, not candlesticks. You are trading your accumulated information, your data that you've seen over time, not. So think of the market like a canvas. Think of you as the artist. You are painting on the canvas so that it can give you an outcome. That's what you're doing. The canvas is not what does the job. It is the imagination of the painter, of the artist, right, that turns the canvas into just something invaluable to something valuable. That's the same thing in Forex trading. The chart is not what gives you money. It's what you interpret on the chart that gives you either profit or losses. So as you move into this new year, I want you to really focus on having a concrete plan. Perhaps some of you don't even have the skill. You find yourself losing money. Please and please take a step back. You see, one of the dangerous things that happened to me in the early part was I was so comfortable with blowing accounts. That's one of the dangerous levels you can get to as a trader. You don't even see anything in blowing account anymore. Trust me, you are going down a rabbit hole that is so hard to pull out from. So if you find that, be honest with yourself. If it is your skill that is lacking, it's time for you to get a way to learn. You either learn by yourself, which might not be that easy, but it's very possible. Find someone to teach you. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. Look for someone that fits into your trading strategy. Look for someone that is accessible, someone that can always mentor you, that you can always talk to, someone that can teach you and effective and show you results. Not just showing you screenshot of how much they make. Let them show you the process they use in making it. Then you can ask a question for yourself. Like, will this help me become sustainable? If all you want to do in forex trading is to make quick money, I promise you, you're not going to make that money. But if you come with a mindset of turning this into a business, an actual source of income is very, very possible. However, you can't do that by just learning strategies. You do that by learning strategies, learning how to plan, developing a very strong journaling. So 2025 is here. Write your specific goals down. ask yourself, how do you want to achieve this? If your goal is to make 100K in first trading this year, it's possible. Be honest with yourself. What are the resources I have right now to achieve it? What is my skill level? What is my psychology like? Ask yourself the honest question. If my skill level is low, go and acquire the skill. Is what if what is affecting you is this is in discipline? Perhaps you even have a strategy. Go and find a way to go around it. Create that plan. So I'm going to give you a final example of what it looks like for me with everything I've already been setting out. So let's go into, I'm going to share something with you right now. We're going to be handing this very soon. I want you to look at this. So let me show you an interpretation of everything I taught you since, right? So let's say my goal for 2025 is to make, let's say, $400,000. Okay. Now, my goal is, how do I achieve this? My goal is already specific. How? But before I ask myself how, I have to list down what are my resources. Okay, I have a starting capital of, let's say you have a starting capital of $10,000, or let's even say $1,000. Okay, what is my skill level? Out of 10, I'm on 5 over 10. What are my reflection of the last year? Oh, most of my problem is psychological. And where do the psychological problem affect me? My execution, right? So now, for me to get to this point, I have to use these resources I have, right? And form it into a plan. That is what will lead to me achieving this. Now, I know 5 over 10 is an average thing. So I'm thinking of how can I optimize my skill level? How can I optimize my psychology, right? So first, it starts with me optimizing, right? So once I'm done optimizing, guess what I do right here? I kind of back test. You don't need all the year to back test. All you got to do is back. You can use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 2 weeks to back test. I back test what I've learned. So guess what? Now I can now bring my skill level to 9 over 10. My psychology is fixed. Now, all I'm going to use now is in resource. What do I have? $1,000, right? Plus the right skill and psychology, right? I have these two things that is going to help me. Then what do I have that's going to keep me consistent? Plus my journal. I'm journaling my trade, right? Right here. Then, of course, the right skill, and this has a lot to cover with the trading plan as well. So let me take this off real quick, right? Plus, now I have a plan. Create a plan, right? Now, then plus my journal. So all I need at the end of the day are all these 4 things. And I can tell you for a fact that I have my plan, I have my psychological plan, and I have my journal. But then let us talk about this journal, because I think this is very important. So what does my journal looks like? So I make a graph. For some of you guys that saw my 100 to $1 million challenge, sorry, $11,000. The intention is to take it to $1 million before I share my FX book investors password out. When you look at it, you're going to find out that I have a program that I programmed, right? And I share this with all my students actually, because it's not enough for me to just teach you strategy and leave you alone. I must give you systems that will help you achieve it. I still did that for my students today. So let's say my goal now is that this $1,000, I want to turn it into this $400,000. Now I have 1 year, 2 years, depending on what is realistic to make that happen. So for me, I've programmed a product that allows me to say, you know what, I have $1,000 right now. if my risk per trade is, let's say, 3%, and by the data of my journaling, I have a journaling template too. And my journaling says in a week, at least my risk reward in a week is, let's say, 1:3. 1:3 risk reward. That means my expected earning in a week will be anywhere from 9% on a good day if it's on one trade. But let's say in a week I see two good trades. That means I'm looking at 18%. I'm using hypothetical figure, right? Now, with this 18%, what is the value of 18% of my account? In dollar value, this is 180. So that means at the end of that week, I'm with $1,180, right? So now if I repeat the same thing, the same thing, the same thing, the same thing over here, perhaps by the end of by the end of maybe the year, my projection tells me that if I'm functioning on only two trades in a week, I don't need to overtrade, just two trades with average of 1:3. I'm not giving just random numbers. I'm looking through my journal, right? So that's why I said your goal must be realistic. So to have a plan that is realistic, also you must have a data, right? And if you've never had a data, it's very good. Just set the simplest thing, 1:2, right? So now with 1:3 on plus two trades, right? All I need is two trades in a week. Look at it. All I need is two trades in a week. And because the market is working on a compounding formula, right? That means the next week I have 1,180, right? The same 3% that used to give me 1:9 right now is still giving me 18%. But the same 18% of 1,180 now is about maybe 1,180, maybe 1,190, 195. The same 3% I'm risking that at 1:3 went from giving me 180 to maybe 190. Now, when you add that up, you probably at 1,300 plus, right? Now, by the end of the year, I've done this. I ended up with what? From that projection figure, I ended up with, let's say, $70,000, right? So realistically, with my data, the market is telling me that if I do a good job, by the end of the year, I'm going to end up with $70,000. I'm giving you a hypothetical figure, right? It can be more than this, it can be lesser than this, depending on how well you're doing. So now, this $70,000 looks like the standard average of what your resources can give you right now. So it helps you to having a realistic approach to trading. So if you start your account by January with $1,000 at an average of 1:3 risk reward, right, a week as per your data, and most of the time you're having a very good win rate, right? Or let's even say you lose one. Remember, I gave you the whole idea of maintaining consistent risk, right? Even when you make 1:3, it's going to take you three trades for you to end up in loss for that week, provided you're doing the right thing, right? So now the whole idea is this: the standard of what you can make is $70,000, right? Now there's plus or minus. Why? Because in realistic terms, right, you can't end up eating two trades and 1:3 all the time. There are going to be some weeks that you add three trades and your risk reward is like 1:4 off the roof, right? Example is this one right here that I'm showing you guys, right? Example is this one right here. I'm showing you guys my trade for the end of the year. Like, I'm coming from -7% loss in November. If I close right now, I've made double of my loss in November. I've made my target for December, and I've made part of my target in January. That's how crazy it is, right? If I wait for this trade to hit my take profits, it's ridiculous and insane what I'm making. Like, if I stop trading between January and March and April, and I spread out my expectation from every month, I will definitely hit my goal. I don't have to trade, right? And this is the beauty of compartmentalizing your trade. So if you have $70,000 right at this point, if you have 70,000 right on, so let's say plus or minus. Let's say if you exceed this, you can do 90,000 if you put up a very good performance for the year. And let's say there are irregularities on the lowest, it was shy of 20,000. Let's say $50,000. Guess what? You won for that year. You are able to have a realistic idea of what to make, which is if I do a good job, 70,000. However, your performance that year says you did 50,000. Guess what happens to you? You might not hit your goal, but you are $50,000 richer. You are not just only $50,000 richer, you are a lot of experience and confidence richer. Now, I can tell you that the next year, you started with your resource of $1,000. Hold up. You started with what? $1,000 and optimizing your skill, optimizing your psychology. You add the trading plan and you add a journaling data. You were able to churn out, let's say, 50,000 on worst case scenario, right? Or let's even take it down lower. 40,000, you were $30,000 shy away from your target, right? You only achieved 55% of your target. Now, guess what? For the new year, you are starting the new year with 40,000, right? And this 40,000 is inclusive of some minor withdrawals. Listen, if you are really focused and you want to build something really much, you're not going to go around withdrawing all your profit. But I can tell you that the withdrawal you're going to be making as a dividend in a month should just be something that is enough to take care of you and stay locked in. The time where you're going to buy yourself things are coming. Stay locked in. Now, this new year, you are not only having you are not only having 40,000 as a result of the last year. Now you've journaled, you know your datas, you know the best A plus setups for you, right? You now have mastered the game of consistent risk per trade, right? You are very good with consistent risk per trade. You do not just make money, you made experience. Now look at it. Your skill is in fact squared with optimizing. Your psychology is squared with optimizing, right? Your trading plan has been improved. You've been able to sort out the trades that are giving you the bad, the losing one, and you focus more on the A plus. Your trading plan is squared. You rebalance and readjust. I've readjusted my trading plan for 2025 right now, right? And then your journaling has given you all the data. Oh, I trade in line with the trend and everything. Guess what? It's easy to turn this 40,000. Now you bring out that same system, right? You bring out that same system. It's easy for you to now project and say 2026. Now I'm coming in with more confidence. Of course, you want to focus on a plan. Let that confidence channel you to following your plan, not leading to overconfidence that leads you to recklessness. Okay. You have a community that keeps you accountable and all of that, right? You can now be able to do that same thing for the new year. I can promise you, whatever took you from this point to, even if it's $30,000, can take you into $250,000 the next year. This is how you can build sustainability. So if you can build it sustainably, guess what had happened? You didn't do it by flipping your account. You didn't do it by chasing quick bucks. You did it by a structured plan. Listen, you did this by a structured plan. Guess what? You are not just making money. The bigger picture is you are building experiences. And guess what? You literally can outdo the people that have been chasing money, because the people that are chasing money will end up losing a lot of money. They are not confident. They do not have a good track record. You can take your track record and say, you know what? I want to keep trading for myself. I have 3 years goals. So I'm not only building equity, I'm building consistency. I'm teaching you how to trade like a mature trader, right? And perhaps if I want to cut the long story short, because I've built experience over time, guess what? I want to release my investors' password to investors. I need more capitalization because now, okay, I've made 100K on my own. Now the money I'm not trying to make money to survive anymore. I have money to survive. I want to scale up. Take your investors' password. Take it to investors. Once they see, investors want to see your risk reward. They want to see the consistency in your risk per trade. Take it to them. Solicit for fun. If it's props you want to take, I don't advise it that much because a lot of props out there these days are just scams, right? But I'm telling you that you do not just make money when you do it the right way. You build experience. I'm teaching you how to trade like me. let me tell you, losses, you are going to have losses, but they are not going to have anything on you because you know exactly why you're making those losses. You know exactly how to adjust. Okay? And this is how it works in Forex trading. So if you, after this webinar, I want you to go and genuinely identify the level you are. Perhaps you don't even have a trading plan. Perhaps you have a trading plan and you are realizing right now that my trading plan doesn't even work. Okay? The next thing you want to do is to find a way to sit down and have a trading plan. Okay? And the last thing I'm going to say is this. If you do not have a skill, okay, do not try to make money. You see, in forex trading, we make money by not trying to make money. Acquire the skill, right? And this is my blueprint for you if you want to make a lot of money for the year 2025. You make that money consistently. You see, don't just be good at making money, be good at keeping the money. The point is, you are not making money on the long run. You are building credibility and consistency and track record. I'm telling you this. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to give money. I reject a lot of people that want to trade, want me to trade for them. Why? Because I'm comfortable with my own personal portfolio. But if you are very good and you put yourself out there, people are going to look for you with money. The reason why you are operating within the framework of scarcity is that you are focusing on the wrong things. You want to make money. You are chasing money. When you walk up to someone and chase them on the street, they are going to run away from you. That's the same psychology with money. You are chasing money. And you've been doing the same thing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You're not getting results. Why not change your approach this year? In fact, just experiment what I've taught you and see if it's going to work or not. And that is how to make it. And for the last part, for everyone that is still struggling with trading, I'm going to open and thank you guys again for, making it to the end. That's why I saved the best part for the last. I'm going to open my academy, right? For anyone. You don't have to. But if you genuinely think that you do not have the skill, the right skill, don't lose your money. Don't buy another props. Don't go ahead and buy another props. If you genuinely know within your mind frame, go and do your analysis and you realize that you are not even there when it comes to skill. You are all over the place. It's time for you to register. It doesn't have to be me. Go and look for someone that fits into you. For example, if you're coming to me to learn how to scalp, you're in the wrong place. I genuinely would decline that kind of person. I've met a lot of people, they want to learn how to scalp. Oh, signals and all of that. It's not me. I want you to learn how to do it by yourself. So if you fall in that link, I think we're going to be opening for 15 persons. Let me check. We're going to be opening the room for 15 persons, right? And you're going to be having an end of the year promo. So all you got to do is send discount to contact admin, the Telegram session. It's only the first 15 people that we're going to answer. And you're going to be having a 40% discount. Start your year off to a good start. And I can promise you 100% that do something different for yourself. You can visit SwingTradeFX Academy, but if you're going to be on the wait list, just text the contact admin. It's going to give you a way to enter, not through the website. On the website, it's a higher price, but if you want to get a 40% discount, contact me. So the admin is going to only screen through how early you text just for 15 people. So right now, I'm going to be going through some of your texts. Okay, I'm going to be going through some of your text to see what it is right here. So let's look at some questions. If you have any question, please keep it right here. So I'm going to start. Someone says it seems like a very distant goal, starting with 1K and targeting 400K for me. The reason why it's distant is because I use that as an hypothetical figure just for you to understand, but I can tell you that this is achievable. Remember, I started an account with $100 August, and I stopped at $11,000 on the YouTube. I just wanted, I'm not the type that, I'm not big on talking on numbers. If you guys have been following me since I started the YouTube, you will never see me post anything flashy. You will never see me post anything lifestyle. I don't even like you guys seeing my face. I'm putting my face out there right now because scammers are using my content and selling my content, right? But the point is this, the $100 account, don't worry, I'm going to release it out. I should hit my target in the second quarter or third quarter of the year. My actual goal is to go to like $1 million. So whatever I get to by that time, I'm going to be showing you guys. Let me tell you this: 1K is a lot of money when you have the skill, and it is not just having the skill. I told you guys about a product I designed for all my students, and by the way, anyone that has access to this discount today, we have every package I give to my student, right? And some of them are here, right? And I still had a session with some of my students today and show them how literally what is possible. Some people set their goals and I asked them, put it in the product. What is the projection? Some are looking at 100K, some are looking at 30K, 40K. Now, what is the whole idea? You see, when you have a table, when you have a product that shows you realistically how much you can make by the end of the year using your own data, by your journaling. Oh, all you have to do is one trade, two trade. For me now, all I have to do to hit my target next year is just two trades in a week. Average of 1:2, 1:2, I'm good. I don't feel the need to overtrade. I don't feel the need to chasing four trades in a week. Once I'm out on two trades, I go back to my goal, which is still incorporated in the journal that I give to all my students. I tick it that I've hit my target for the week. Guess what? That week is another step to reaching my target. So perhaps if you see it being broken down and see what 1K could turn to, it doesn't have to be 400K, okay? I just use the figure, right? But 1K, I can tell you confidently, if you trade right and you know what you're doing, you can end the year with over 100K. I can promise you that, and you don't even need a lot of trades. You only need one or two high probability trades because I've done it. I've, I've, I've I've consulted for many of my students, right, using the product that I give them. I don't just give you knowledge. I give you my journal, and that journal has some programs in it that shows you what you can make. So once you can see what you can make, right, it's right here in your psychology. Then you see how easy it is to achieve it. That, oh, wow, all I needed to do is just two trades in a week and I'm good. Now, how does that really help you? Number one, it helps your psychology. Okay, that's number one. Your psychology now goes from rushing and thinking that for you to make money, you need a lot of trades to literally saying that you need just one or two trades in a week. So that allows you to be patient. Now, you know, all you got to do is to be patient for the best and high probability trade. Now, does that mean that you're not going to make loss? You are going to make loss on some days. But the idea is that that gives you a projection. At least you know that 100K is possible. At the worst case scenario, let's say you perform at average, 50K is possible. Let's say you outdo your performance for that week and it can show in your journaling, right? The journaling has three compartments: the projection one, the one you record what you do daily, and the one you record your emotions, right? And you can see that you beat your target. You even went as much as $150,000. You can see it. The point is, when your goals are not specific, your mind cannot pick it up. You can't have the action plan, you can't have the motivation, and you cannot have the temerity to follow through. And that is why your goal has to be specific. It has to be a number. It's not a number you just coin from your mind. You put the number by the reasons of data and see how achievable it is. So for example, I was talking to a student recently. I showed the student that all you need is two trades in a week. With 1:2, and with the size of your account, all you got to risk is 4%, right, of your account. And guess what it looks like on the best case scenario? It looks like 100 plus. On the worst case scenario, it looks like a 50 plus, right? And on an extremely worst case scenario, right? It looks like a 30 plus. Worst case scenario, worst case scenario, that means you need to go back and learn, because that means you are not even making profit, right? The only reason why you can't hit this is when you make loss all through the year. And you see, these are the secrets of how people win. Most of the traders that make, I'm not even talking about Instagram traders, right? I don't buy that. It's not my cup of tea. But I'm talking of real traders. They make losses, but how are they able to still make profit for the end of the year? First, they have a specific idea of what they can make. Second, they focus on that long term. Third, they have a plan, they execute that plan daily, regardless of the outcome. Then by the end of the year, they want to see their data. That is it. With prop firm, is very possible, even more than that. Yeah, you just gotta know your prop firm, and you don't need prop firm, right? I've showed you what you can do with $100 in just 1.5 months. So if I could get 11,000 off $100 in 1.5 months. Now we have like 9.5 months more. Guess what I can do with it? Guess what I'm doing with it right now? So the reason why you can't dream big is because you don't know it's possible. So the first thing, once you see it's possible, and for you to know it's possible, you need to be able to have a data, put it right there, see it. Wow. So I don't even need to overtrade. I just need to put what I have. What is my resources right now? $500. Let me put $500 right there. It automatically calculates for you and say, by the end of the year, if I'm risking 3% and I'm doing 1:2, 10% a week, it compounds over time. By the end of the year, I can do $20,000. Wow. You start to open your mind. Sometimes as human, we just need to believe that it is possible. So someone says, can you help me drop this video on Telegram so we could download? No, I'm not dropping it on Telegram. It probably, when I discuss with him, it can be available on YouTube. I'm not sure. Someone said I missed the war room. Don't worry, every time you can be back. Someone says my WhatsApp number, be careful. Don't drop your WhatsApp number off here. Someone said I've learned a lot. Uh, thanks immensely for the premium information. Good. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to every question. I'm just running through. I need an accountability partner. Oh, you guys are finding accountability. It's crazy. Uh, Let me see. I think if you need a very strong accountability community, you can register to War Room. However, for you to be access to War Room, you got to go through the course first. Because I love to be, War Room is just a community for all my students, right? How do I get the admin contact? Go to Telegram. You're gonna see contact admin, or I can have it pinned down here. I don't know. I don't know how I can do that, but let me see if there's any way to pin any message down. Well, just go to Telegram and you're gonna find the admin contact there, or you can text me directly. Mr. Ime, how much can I risk on $100 account? I don't think you're asking the right question. I think you should just find that projection first. The question for me before I answer that is, are you profitable? What is your data per week? Let me know that, then I can give you a recommendation. But usually I would recommend with $100 account, go watch my video I made on YouTube on how I turn 100 to like 11. You're going to see what I use. I think you can start with 10%. The moment you get 150, reduce it to 7% and just keep taking it. Yemi, please, is it also important to be consistent with a specific lot size? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I rather say don't be consistent with just lot size. You do not assess your risk or define your risk by lot size. You define it by percentage. You express them in percentage, because now it puts you to an advantage. Percentage, right? So if you just be consistent with your risk percentage, the same 3% I used to do when I had $1,000 when I was starting out, the same 3% that used to give me $30,000. When you get to a point where you're trading 400K, right, the same 3% is now $12,000. So in this case, what you're doing is you're not increasing your account size. What you're doing in essence is that you are only performing, focusing on just being better. The account is increasing and the account is giving you a right to access bigger money by maintaining the same risk. Can I start with $50? How do I get a good broker? Yeah, you can start with $50. I recommend IC Market. They Someone said this is a lucky price. Well, perhaps you can find people that can actually train you for less, but I can tell you, I have people that train people that are my students actually. And I'm not the type to expose people, but I can tell you most of what you get out there are garbage. In fact, if you're the type that you're looking for a cheap course, just don't buy any cheap course. Go on my YouTube. Everything they're going to sell for you is less in quality than what I've put on YouTube for free. And that's a fact. If I start with 100 USD, how much can I risk per trade? I think I've answered the question. What are your execution confirmation? Well, that's for my student, but I think I dropped an execution video on YouTube. You can check that. Um, do you manage your trade with the same time frame you enter the trade with? Yes, I manage my trade with 1 hour, 30 minutes time frame. How do you do your risk management on the 100 to 11,000? What is it based on? So initially, I was risking between when I started, I went big. I was risking between, yes, about 15 to 50%. But the moment I got that first week off, I just lowered it a bit. Should we consider a break of structure or body? Is body. I've said it many times. Go watch my video again. Uh, which pair, which pairs that forex time session? I don't understand this. If I trade with 100 USD, how much can you risk per trade? I think I've answered that. Thank you. This month I've learned a lot from you. It's beautiful. Please, can I confide in you? Okay. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, for all my community members, I've contacted the admin. Okay, you're gonna get a response back. I just want to thank you because I could gather money for bootcamp. It was before I could gather money for the bootcamp. That's why it's good to take opportunity very fast. Please, I'm having progress reporting understanding liquidity pool and liquidity void. Please, all these are too much of English. The point is the market, when it breaks the structure, is going to pull back. Just use your fib level. Okay. You don't need all these complications. Okay. I'm gathering the money to join your premium content. Please take your time. It's not really for, you don't have to, right? In fact, if you feel you're confident with more people that, they serve your interest better, it's really so good. Okay. It's all I need. Thank you much for sharing your word of expertise and experience for us. And it really is my pleasure. Yes, sir. Your YouTube channel changed the game of trading for me. I really love that. I get 100 of messages every day, and it does me a lot of pleasure. And I'm so humbled. Thank you so much for this time. May that teach us what the more you can give, but you give out for free. God bless you. God bless you too. I'm in trade. You usually take per setup. I take only one trade per setup as it moves in my direction and offer opportunity I had on. It's crazy and it doesn't make sense. Anytime I see people enter a trade, especially traders from Africa, right? You know, they enter on like it's like a barcode. That is ridiculous. You can build sustainable wealth over time. And that's why go and look at the pattern of some of the best traders that are regarded all over in the US, in Canada, everywhere. You're gonna see the sustainability. I have $35, we have C market, but they don't allow me to take a trade. Change your leverage. Maybe your leverage is lower and they won't let you take a trade. Love your approach to the market. Thank you. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Apart from GJ, what other pair is volatile as GJ? Maybe gold. I don't trade gold. I love to look at gold to kind of understand what the year is doing, and that is it. Your chart analysis are so beautiful and clean. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate a lot of you guys. So, like I said, the first 15 people, I believe my admin will answer to them all. And I just want to wish you a very fantastic end of the year. For people who are looking to join this trade, I know I give this trade out right here. Many people are already in profit. I sent it on my Instagram. For people that are looking to join this trade, maybe perhaps I might drop something, but not now. I don't see any opportunity now. I think the market is really going to push up after the holiday season are over. I think it's going to push up really massively. I think it's going to be crazy. It's going to push up, and I can promise you that the market is coming here. You have my words on this. The market is coming here. Um, you know, and yeah, I'm looking to add a new position when I get to this level, either of this level. That's why you can see I signified it right there. So when the market gets to that level, for some of you guys that have been here, I can see some of you guys are sending me screenshots. I'm gonna post all those screenshots going next year. I haven't really been, present that much, but yeah, I'm gonna send another opportunity in right on this level. And I see some people really got a good trade entering right from this level. So thank you so much. And I just want to wish you a very amazing year ahead. This video perhaps will be available on YouTube. You can watch again and just learn. This is a business. It's not a get rich quick scheme. And thank you and God bless you. God bless you.